Alright guys, we just got another draft going here. Things that are standing out, obviously Song, it's just a busted card. Blink is decent, Shivan's good. This card is not great. It's not terrible, like, it's really good if you get the Pegasus, some of the Pegasus. Then they just have to deal with the Pegasus or they kind of lose to this. But yeah, Song is just busted and we're not passing any good green cards, so you could consider Shivan Fire, but I don't think it's even close. These are both really good. Vicious Offering is obviously pretty good. I kind of liked this card at first, but I don't really like it anymore. Big ground guys just aren't great. I mean, it can kind of win you the game sometimes, but yeah, not a big fan. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely between these two. I don't really know. Like, this guy is just so good. 5/5 Vigilance Trample, or a 2/2 Vigilance Trample. But this also lets us just ramp crazy stuff out. I think we'll take this. Like, green's not... They don't have trouble casting big guys, even though this is like a premium big guy. So we'll take the ramp. Ooh, okay. Saproling is probably what we're going to pick. It goes really good with Song. We wouldn't mind the Grow as well. If these two cards weren't here, I think we would still probably take Pegasus over Halar. Again, Pegasus is just a really good card. They have to have something to block it, or it just gets out of control. They need to block it or kill it, or it just wins you the game in a few turns. But yeah, Saproling's perfect. Memorial is also good as well, but obviously we're not going to pick it over good playables. Spore Swarm. Probably what we're taking here. Again, I wouldn't mind this. Kind of help us splash some stuff. But again, with the Saprolings we already have, I think we're kind of priced into picking that along with the Song. I mean, we might wind up playing one of these. Fungal wouldn't be bad. We could try to go into the green-black Saprolings, but if we were doing that, we'd want this over that anyways. I don't mind this card as like a sideboard. It's super slow, but it's really good in some matchups. None of these cards are good enough to like start going into another color. I've never seen this card played before, and I can't imagine it's very good. So we're just going to take the Animus. It's not great, like, considering we have a bunch of 1/1s right now, but I'm assuming we'll get some big guys eventually. Like this. This is a great finisher. And when we have stuff like Song plus Saproling and Spore Swarm and Druid, it's not going to be too hard to cast this guy, even though it costs 7 mana. Not much here, except for Animus again. Adamant Will's not bad. Skin Witch, again, is good if we decide to go green-black, but we don't necessarily know if we want to, and it's not even, like, that much better than Short Sword. Like, Short Sword kind of turns all of your 1/1s into 2/2s, so I don't mind that. So looking like green is pretty open. I guess we'll just take this, maybe get some ramp again. It's not really ramp, it's like pseudo ramp, I guess. I'll take a Divination. I don't really like any of these. I don't know, we might wind up green-red. Yeah, like I said, you know, if worst comes to worst, we might play one of these. I can't really see it happening after getting all of these green cards, but who knows. Well, that makes me want to go blue. Especially since we have Short Sword. If you play this on turn 4, you're going to win a lot of the time. We are passing a bunch good blue cards, though. Like, this would be pretty crazy with all of our 1/1s, but it's not going to be better than Zahid, I don't think. Eviscerate is good. Yeah, I still think we'd rather have Zahid over Eviscerate, especially since even if we don't have an artifact, we can ramp it out with our Druid or our Song. Well, that's a very good card, but we're not picking that. Probably just go Shepherd. This is a good card, obviously, but it's hard to pull off the legendary sorceries unless you have like a very specific deck. Again, wouldn't mind this if we were black-green, but I would like to pick up a Jousting Lance, but I think the first Yavimaya Shepherd is going to be better than the first Jousting Lance. This card is looking really good with all the Saprolings that we have, but Divination is also really, really good. Especially in a deck like this, where you're kind of just playing like a bunch of little dorks, you're going to want the card advantage. We have one Divination already, so I think like the upside to take this might be better in case we wind up getting like a bunch of crazy black cards, like a few Thallid Omnivores. But even then, yeah, I think I'm just gonna take the Divination. I don't know, this is close. Like if we didn't have Zahid, I would probably snap this up, but well, there's our Omnivore. But I think at this point we're pretty much playing blue. Like, we might wind up splashing for an Omnivore, but I think we want Academy Drake. Sylvan Awakening. It's not great, but it can just win you the game sometimes. And when you have like a little army of 1/1s defending you on the ground, it's not the worst because you get to like turn, 8 or 9 or whatever, and you just go super wide. So I think I'll take this. I don't know if we'll play it main deck, but we might. That's a super late Fungal Infection. Somehow there's an Eviscerate still, so I think we'll take this. Okay, came back around. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5. This one doesn't really count. So we have like 4 blue cards. This wouldn't be bad. We've already got like some heavy cards. I think I'm just gonna take this. I would probably take Syncopate over Spider. Nah, I don't know. I mean, these kind of decks, if you don't get a lot of flyers, they have a hard time beating flyers, and it's always good to have reach, like, no matter what, because that's a win condition in a lot of decks. But I think it's worth taking this and seeing if maybe we get some Omnivores. Grow from Ashes came back. We will take that up for sure. None of these are great. I actually don't mind this as a 1-mana trick, mostly because it keeps the counter on your creature. I mean, obviously it's not the best, but you can play it if you have to. This is super late. I think this is a good card if you're playing Blue-Red Wizards. Like, you can just finish out the game sometimes. You get to 6 mana and you start dealing 4 damage a turn. I guess we'll take Relic Runner. Probably won't play it. Probably won't play 2 Scouts, but I might board it in. There's our Omnivore. So yeah, now we still don't really know like where we want to end up. I'll take this for the sideboard. Oh jeez. 8 mana is a lot, but man, if you resolve this card and it doesn't die on their turn, kind of just win. Especially in a deck like this. Like, this definitely makes me want to be black. And maybe wheel this Omnivore. We'll definitely get something back from this pack, I think. Like a Gorger, Omnivore. So yeah, we're just going to take the Verdant. Memorial's not bad. But yeah, I don't think we can pass a Sap Herd. It'd be real nice to get the +1/+1 to all Fungus and Saprolings, but probably won't get it at this point. Nothing else here. Again, I've never even seen this card played. It's so bad. I don't even know. I guess for Commander maybe or something. I don't know. Ooh. So, do we think, man, so I think what we want to do is go back into blue, not black, and then maybe splash these, maybe just these two, maybe leave out Soothsayer. Our curve is getting kind of heavy. I mean, we can always take out, I'll probably take this guy out. Probably this guy. We'll leave him in for now, but yeah, Tatiova is... I would like to have this Vicious Offering, but Tatiova is just too strong. I don't think we're that hard up for removal. And we don't have a lot. Realistically, this deck is not really trying to answer their threats. It's just going to try to go wide. So yeah, I think this Memorial is fine. Deep Freeze is a decent answer. Like, we don't really care about giving them a blocker if we're going wide. Again, I wouldn't mind the Spider, but yeah, we just kind of need answers to stuff. There's another one. Especially like 2 Divinations. I don't mind answers like these. Because eventually we're going to find stuff like Zahid and Verdant Force and Tatiova to kind of just take over the game. You don't necessarily need to be attacking. Again, I think we'll take the Lance. Like, it's really good to suit these guys, your little 1/1s up, and actually make them into threats. Might play both equipment, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we just gotta slam this guy. Not really sure how our mana's gonna look yet, but we'll figure it out. Don't really care about any of these. Yeah, we're just never playing any of them, so whatever. No, nothing here for us. I don't think we'll play another one, but you never know. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever play this, but maybe. So we have like infinite removal. Now this card is usually like super bad, but with Adjusting Lance, it's not terrible. Like if we're short on 4 drops, which I don't think we will be, but I don't know, might make the deck. Like a 6 power first striker that has to be blocked every turn. It's kind of just like abyssing them. Not terrible. Alright, so we have a lot of cards to cut. We do have the Grow from Ashes. I kind of wish we had the 1/2 Search for Land. Can't remember what we picked over it. Divination maybe? No. I don't know, Sap Herd. Not sure if this is worth splashing. Probably not. These definitely are. Like, our mana gets really rocky for playing 4. So for now, let's take this out and see how our deck shapes up. Realistically, our curve isn't that high, so I don't know if we want to keep this in, like having all of these. I might want to keep in the second short sword just because we have Zahid. Yeah, there's no way this is going to be right. "14 creatures, but a lot of them are... We have 2... No, we have 1 migration. 1 swarm. So we have like 16 creatures. We could cut a few creatures. Maybe we get rid of Sylvan. I don't know, like, we're super stally though. I could see this winning us games. We have 2 divinations. Grow from the Ashes. It's really good with Grow from the Ashes as well. This is probably not worth it. Like, if we had 2, I would be a lot happier if we had 2 lances instead of two short swords. It's way more expensive, but then I would definitely be playing this guy if we had 2 lances. So Arcanist can help us cast our migrations, grow divs, Spore Swarm. Yeah, I think it's worth it. It's probably better than these guys. We want 2 Animus. Like, we don't really have big creatures. I mean, you can always eat like a Saproling and then cast it. These guys get counters from it. Obviously, these are killing anything. So if we keep 1 of this, 2 Deep Freeze, 2 Ancient Animus, that's probably too much. Especially if we're keeping 2 short swords. But they do get better with the short swords. Need to cut 4 more cards. Usually what happens with Thorn Elemental is, like, you want to put some beats on them, and then mid-game get them down kind of low to where this guy can kill him really fast, and I don't think that we're going to be able to do that. So maybe we get rid of Thorn Elemental. Yeah. So now we're 11, 12, 13. That's probably pretty low to be playing 3 equipment. Yeah, man. I guess we'll get this out of here. And then board it in, like, if we know they're super slow and they're not putting a lot of pressure on us, and it'll just win us the game when we draw it. What else can we cut? I don't think we want to cut these. Again, this is just going to be like hard removal for us. I really thought we got another one of these, but I guess we passed it for something else. Yeah, I don't really want to cut any more 2-drops because we have Song. Yep, Awakening, I think you're out of here. Could also consider cutting Eviscerate to make our mana a little better. Alright, let's take a look at our mana. So we have suggesting 9, 6, 2. So then we would have 2, kind of 3, like you can kind of count this one as a black. And then grow 4 for 3 cards. That's probably not good enough. Six, 7 sources of blue, 8 if you count this. That's probably fine, like we don't have a ton of blue cards. Eight, 9. Eight should be enough to like consistently get this down, especially when we have the druid. Fortunately, we don't really have many kickers. Like, we have this that can get 2 mana. This. Oh, that's not bad. Alright, last cut. 13 creatures, yeah, I guess we just cut the short sword. Alright, our mana's kind of rocky, but I think it's worth like the power increase of these cards. 2 removal. Kind of 3. 4 with this. Yeah, I think we gotta keep that Eviscerate in. Alright, I think we're good. Let's try it like this. I'll be back with the next video.